Seven Nights 2 is an online role-playing game that recently came to mobile and PC for the global audience. I've been playing this pretty hardcore since release and currently have 42 hours playtime as of writing this. Probably more by the time this video goes live. I did make a video on the Korean version last year and I decided I needed to make a new review on the game considering I now know exactly what the game is about. I'm Sorasyn and welcome to my channel. Please consider subscribing if you enjoy my content. I'd love that very much. Seven Nights 2 has some of the most detailed character designs I have seen in a mobile game in a while. Every nook and cranny of the armor looks detailed and the overall aesthetic is mind-blowing. The amount of detail gone into the heroes is pretty impressive, although I notice this doesn't seem to apply to lesser character models in the story content. Side characters or trash mobs model designs are drastically different in quality, and I can understand why, but it is a big difference when comparing the playable characters to the non-playable ones. You'll definitely notice it when watching the cinematics. There is no character customization in the game in terms of sliders for the body or faces of your heroes. Instead, the game has opted for only costume cosmetics, which, considering the direction this game seems to be going for, makes sense. Seven Nights 2 is set 20 years after the original game's story, so if you're someone who loved the original game, I'm sure you will love to see how the story progresses after the first game. But if you're new to Seven Nights like myself, that's okay too. The story is still engaging and exciting to watch. Seven Nights 2 tries to make you think it's an MMORPG, and in a lot of ways, I wish it was. But personally, I believe it resembles a hero collector gacha game more. As with any hero collector, you have a team of 4 or 5 heroes to play with. In this case, it's 4, and it kind of gives off that hero collector vibe because unlike in a standard MMORPG where you have one character and you travel from quest to quest in this open world, in Seven Nights 2, you're going from encounter to encounter, kind of like how you would pick the different combat instance in a hero collector game. Go from one to the other, fight monsters, or fight a boss. Also, you don't really see people very often, only in certain areas, and there isn't a lot of teamwork in this game. The only teamwork you'll find is when you're doing the 8-player co-op raid. There is a shop in the market that sells exploration tickets every 6 hours. It's advisable for you to grab those because they're used in the exploration maps, where you can AFK grind for a certain amount of time, depending on how many tickets you own. And you can get items like gold, armor, weapons, as well as experience potions. Once you unlock the normal mode of exploration, you already have a chance to find legendary equips for your heroes. As a free-to-play player who did make a few mistakes along the way while playing the game, I found myself struggling at various points. Currently, I'm severely undergeared in terms of combat power for the regions, and I'm finding it very hard to complete boss fights on normal mode. That's not to say I can't do it. You can push through, but you have to stop using auto for the most part, or at least position manually and dodge as much as you can. This can create some super intense boss fights that can last a while, but bosses do have an enrage timer, so the damage has to be good. There's been many times where I've downed a boss mere seconds away from hitting the enrage timer. There are 3 gacha available for this game: a gacha for pets, armor and weapons, and finally for heroes. And in the hero gacha, you have guaranteed rate up legendary summons for 2 legendary heroes and a special summon which does not guarantee any specific legendary, and the legendary plus select summon which requires moonstones to purchase. If you're a free-to-play player, I wouldn't focus on the pets or armor, just the heroes. There is a first top-up reward where you can get a free rare pet and 3 rare or rare plus selector tickets. I'd say at least invest in that for the rare pet. I did, and it made a huge difference in my combat power. The biggest issue with the gacha is the rates, and the fact that there is no guaranteed rare or higher with a ×10 pull. It's very disheartening to roll for a 10 summon only to get white and green heroes or soulstone. There are 3 types of instance dungeon modes that can be done daily. You have the dungeons which have 5 modes inside, 1 for gold, 1 for soulstones, which are used to transcend your heroes, a dungeon for elixirs, which is used to raise your hero's potential, and a dungeon for runes, which are used to enhance your account's divinity, and finally, an experience dungeon to get experience potions. These can be done more than once per day, if you have tickets for each mentioned dungeon. Next up are the raid dungeons. These are divided into 3 separate modes: single 4-player raids, single 8-player raids, and party raids. The single 4-player raid is split up into 5 raid encounters. Each of these 4-player solo raids offer armor as well as books needed to enhance your hero's formations. The 8-player solo raid offers the same rewards, but better and random books. And the 8-player party raid is the raid where you can team up with others and take on raid bosses for even grander rewards and books. An interesting thing about the combat power is how it actually benefits you to gear up the heroes you don't use as well. It's a good idea to gear up all your heroes and set items so that you can get complete set bonuses. These will help boost your overall combat power, because you actually get rewarded for overall combat power for your account. You can earn heroes and gear, even a couple free legendary heroes too, though you do need 2 million CP for the legendary plus Shane, which I don't see myself getting anytime soon. Though I am close to legendary Rachel, who I already have, but I welcome more soul shards for transcending. The only issue I have with this is that the set icons on the armor is really small. It's hard to tell which is which sometimes. Seven Knights 2 introduces you to the action very early on in the game. It's fast-paced and fun to be a part of. Having to swap heroes mid-combat or rally them to your position to avoid telegraphed attacks all combine together to make for some very intense battles. Of course, you won't really experience these intense battles until you at least near the end of the current story on easy mode, leading into normal. You'd think normal wouldn't be that hard, but wow, the jump in difficulty if your combat power isn't at the required amount is actually pretty intense. Even though there is autoplay, by the time you reach the normal difficulty, you will feel like auto isn't part of the game because you just can't face roll your way through the content. Unless you're a whale or have been very lucky with your gear jobs and have amazing combat power. You'll have to keep trying and trying, wipe after wipe, while pushing forward and learning a boss's movements. Or maybe you need to build a hero that can interrupt his giant AoE blasts. In any case, there is definitely more to this game than just auto. Actually, at the moment I'm stuck because I just don't have the damage to hurt the boss I'm at enough before the enrage happens. So I've been patiently biding my time, saving tickets for exploration, hoping for legendary drops for my heroes, and slowly getting stronger. The arena is really nothing amazing, it's just a standard auto-play, player versus player arena. You have no control on the skills used at all. You can only watch as you have to complete 10 arena matches for your daily and 5 ranked matches as well. Since this is purely auto only and matches last a few minutes per game and can get longer as you get stronger, I truly wish the auto replay option actually worked. As of making this video, it only works on rare occasions, but majority of the time I have to manually rematch a game. Just throw in a skip feature since it's all auto anyway. It's probably the most boring feature in the game. Visually, Seven Knights 2 is breathtakingly beautiful and the graphics truly are top tier. I love showing off the screenshots and screen recordings to friends, and they always can't believe it's a mobile game. Overall, I'd say Seven Knights 2 truly is a great game and can be very challenging later on. Don't be fooled by the auto because you won't be using it as often as the game gets harder. The story is engaging and I really enjoyed watching every cinematic. I'm looking forward to seeing how the story progresses when we eventually get a new story content, but until then, I'm happy to grind away slowly to get my team of heroes stronger for the battles ahead. Thanks for watching. This is Sorasyn, wishing you all a great day. Please remember to subscribe and hit that bell icon and follow me on all my socials in the description and pinned comment below.